from their peers.
Guys, remember this if I ever have to leave the show. Just
Yes.
focus on tradition and big.
Olivier Vernon.
Let's focus on the team Eli will be facing this weekend. Cowboys have a very average record of 6-6, which is literally the definition of average. They've got favorable matchups coming up against the Giants and the Raiders, and then Zeke is back week 16 to face Seattle. So it all goes well. If all goes well and Dak rediscovers his game and all the stars align, Dallas can sneak their way into the playoffs. Here's Jerry Jones on if the Cowboys need to run the table.
Really do have to just play this thing series by series, quarter by quarter, and you know the rest. And let's think like that. Let's just see how it works out. But I wouldn't, to my experience has been, I wouldn't, with 4 games remaining, a quarter of the season, I wouldn't pencil it in yet.
All right, Mark, what do the Cowboys have to do to even be in contention for the playoffs, to actually make a playoff run?
Well, I look at them, the way they're built. To me, what they have to do is possess the ball and have the lead because they can rush the passer.
Yes.
They can flat rush the passer. You do that, you get opportunities to hit the opponent's quarterback. You will create turnovers. You will create short fields, and you will win football games. So to me, it's imperative. Possess the ball, run the ball. Run your play action stuff that you've been accustomed to. Even put Dak Prescott in a little bit more running situations. You know,
run pass options.
Right. All those things. Because if you play that way, you have a really good. To me, you have a. It's when you put your defense out there and you don't have the lead and you can be multiple and you can run it, and they don't have that type of defense. But if you have a lead and they can just pin their ear back and rush the passer, they can be legitimate. They can win a lot of football. It wouldn't shock me if they ran the table.
Yeah, right now the strength of their defense is their ability to rush the passer. They got a bunch of young guys playing corner. We know they got replacements in for Sean Lee in the middle there. That hasn't solidified the defense, a tackling machine. So who are the Dallas Cowboys this late in the season? You mentioned it.
Right.
They're not a great offensive team. They got a great offensive. They got one great unit. That's the offensive line, who hadn't played great this year. Now, we just thought, just normal, NFL, Dak Prescott, in between year 1 and year 2, players in the NFL grow more in that year than any other year. And Dak played fabulous last year. We just thought we had put the multiplier on him. Oh, he's going to do this in year number 2. Well, let's walk that one back a little bit, because this is who the Dallas Cowboys are. Like, they're not going to be a very explosive offense. They're going to be a grinded out, let Dak manage the game, let him use his legs, move the pocket around, try to come up with a few big plays in the passing game. But understand, your defense is undersized. You got a bunch of young guys covering. All right, you need to milk the clock. That defense is better playing 25 to 28 minutes. That's where they're going to thrive. So try to play to that. Even though you might not like your identity, this is who you really are. So Jerry, as you could see, is because they're not really talented. They can't give away. They can't play a bad quarter. They can't play a bad half. They can't afford to lose another game. So you can hear that in Jerry's voice, who's typically, so optimistic about the Cowboys and everything else. Not so much in this interview.
Right. That's what was most jarring to me is Jerry Jones seemed to have his spirit broken a little bit. Like, he's like, listen, I can't promise anything. Like, let's all calm down.
Well, the last promise he made was that Zeke wasn't going to get suspended.
Right.
So I wouldn't be making. Yeah, I wouldn't be making more promises after that one.
So here is, listen, for the Cowboys to make a playoff run, they have to go 4-0 the rest of the way and have some good luck. Because 10-6.
Good luck. They need some teams to get 4 flat tires,
right,
and don't have.
And what's happened in the last couple weeks that leads you to believe they could go 4-0, 3-0, 2-0?
Almost nothing. So I just want to focus on one slight difference here, which is if I'm the Cowboys, if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm not thinking about the next 4 games. I'm thinking about weeks 4 and 5. I'm thinking about that home game against the Rams, where we allowed 19 straight points after a double-digit lead to lose that one. I'm thinking about the next week, the home game against the Packers, where we had a double-digit lead and allowed 20 points in the fourth quarter, where we had a 3-point lead with 1:10 left, where if we want to just go even further, you had the Packers on the fringe of field goal range, 3rd and 8, 30 seconds left in a game you're winning. and you let Rodgers scramble out of the pocket and end up getting a touchdown on the next play. I'm thinking about, because if they're 7-5.
Man, it's the
I'm just saying, if you were my coach, I'd be so damn depressed.
Oh, man,
let's go back and
right
look at all the crap.
No, but
come on, we got to go forward.
Wait, Nick,
Here's
first,
why you stink.
Nick, this is the Christmas season. You're the ghost of Christmas past.
Well,
hey, not only Coach Mangini, I hope he's watching the show. We got to stop you looking at the schedule ahead. Not on next thing. Now he's going back on the schedule.
the point that I'm
you
making
can't go forward and backwards,
is
Nick.
before Zeke got suspended, when this team wasn't fully operational, they left a couple wins on the table. That if they had only gotten one of them, if they're 7-5, the math is a lot easier for them.
Yeah,
to get
I
to the
want an
postseason.
algorithm about how the Jets game has been affected by the LA game,
You don't like
and
my
then go
style
back
of
and
analysis.
forth.
You know what? He
I
memorized
thought
that
you were
schedule.
a chromosome blocker.
Easier.
So,
All right, Mark, stick around. Coming up, were the suspensions warranted after that chippy game on Monday
Everybody's
night?
got
That's
jokes,
next.
huh?
First things first.
Forward in the schedule.